On June 6, 1971, three Soviet cosmonauts, Georgy Dobrovolsky, Vladislav Volkov, and Viktor Patsayev, launched aboard Soyuz-11 from Baikonur. Their assignment, dock with Soyuz-1, the world's first operational space station. Dobrovolsky served as commander, Volkov as flight engineer, and Patsayev as research engineer. Their mission was to spend 3 weeks in orbit, carrying out experiments and proving that humans could live and work in space for long periods. The launch went smoothly. About 24 hours later, Soyuz-11 successfully docked with Salyut-1. They became the first people in history to inhabit a space station. For 22 days, the crew performed a wide range of experiments. They conducted astronomical observations, tested materials, studied biological effects, and photographed Earth. They set new records for spaceflight duration and showed that the human body could adapt to extended weightlessness. Daily communications with ground control were calm and professional. No serious issues were reported on board. The crew completed everything in their flight plan and even asked for extra experiments to fill remaining time. On June 29th, after a highly successful stay, the cosmonauts closed the hatches between Salyut-1 and Soyuz-11. They prepared for the journey back to Earth. At 21:28 Moscow time, Soyuz-11 undocked from the station. The separation was clean and nominal. About 40 minutes later, the service module engine fired for the deorbit burn. Soyuz-11 began its descent toward a landing zone in Kazakhstan. All systems appeared normal as the spacecraft entered the upper atmosphere. As planned, the orbital and service modules separated, leaving the crew inside the small spherical descent module. The heat shield worked flawlessly, protecting the capsule from the intense heat of re-entry. The drogue parachute deployed at the correct altitude. The main parachute followed, opening as expected and slowing the descent. Soft landing rockets fired just before touchdown. Soyuz-11 set down gently on the Kazakh steppe at 2:17 p.m. on June 30th. Recovery helicopters were already nearby. Ground teams hurried to the capsule, expecting to welcome 3 record-setting cosmonauts. When they opened the hatch, they found all 3 men still strapped into their seats. They were motionless, with blue-tinted faces. There were no signs of fire, no heavy impact damage. But it was clear the crew was no longer alive. Medical examinations later showed that the cosmonauts had suffocated. A pressure equalization valve had opened too early during descent. The valve was supposed to open just before landing to balance cabin pressure with the outside air. Instead, it opened when the capsule was still above the Kármán line, around 550,000 feet, where the outside environment is effectively a vacuum. The cabin lost air in about 112 seconds. Without pressure suits, the crew could not survive the rapid depressurization. Investigators determined that the valve had been damaged during module separation, when explosive bolts fired to detach the orbital and service modules. Debris or a shock from the separation had affected the valve mechanism, causing it to open at the wrong time. The cosmonauts likely lost consciousness within 15 to 20 seconds. Death from lack of oxygen followed within roughly a minute. The accident led to major design changes. Pressure valves were reinforced, and Soviet crews were from then on required to wear pressure suits during launch and re-entry, a practice that continues in modern spaceflight.